Today on Hampton Roads Business Weekly, managing company morale. We've got some simple tips to keep your employees happy.
Plus, we'll introduce you to a new company that's being dubbed the Uber of lawn care.
And I'll tell you the 3 things you need to be doing to get your company noticed by the media in a new segment called the TAN Plan. Hampton Roads Business Weekly starts right now.
Welcome to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. I'm Zach Miller.
And I'm Cheryl Tan. Business owners, are your employees happy at work? Are you happy? Company and employee morale can be essential ingredients in making a business successful.
I spoke with Mary Jo Bouchard, an organizational consultant and Regent University alum, on simple things business owners can do to keep morale up and employees happy. So I am a single founder of a company, and it's very important for me to keep morale up. What can I do to stay positive when cash flow is tight? Maybe I just lost a little bit of business. What can I do to personally keep morale up?
Great question. One of the things that I think people underestimate is the power of cultivating happiness in the workplace. So it's really important to cultivate happiness, but a lot of people say, yeah, but if I'm not happy, things aren't going well, how am I supposed to be happy?
Sure.
There have actually been studies that show that you can rewire the brain to filter through a state of happiness. One of those things is to cultivate gratitude. Keeping a journal, where they have said over 30 days, if they have every member journal 3 new things that they noticed today that they were thankful for. Then after the course of 30 days, their brains have been retrained to look for things to be grateful for rather than the things that are, so it retrains the filter in your mind, which is kind of amazing that after a month you can have a retrained filter. So one of them is cultivating gratitude.
Okay.
The next one is empathy and kindness. When you do random acts of kindness, one of the ones that they have suggested is, for example, picking somebody on your email list and just thanking them for, or praising them for something that they're not expecting, where you need nothing in return for them. And just, you can feel so good about doing that, that you're pretty proud of yourself,
Sure.
you know, for doing that. But just random acts of kindness actually boosts endorphins in your system. And then fostering a sense of welcome with people. When people come in, they are not just served, but they are treated as welcome, anticipated, and cared for, excited to be there. When somebody feels like people are excited to see them, they are excited to go back, even if their name isn't remembered. So, so I would say those are 3 big ways, even without spending any money, that people can relationally cultivate happiness.
So that
in the workplace.
30-day piece of gratitude and really understanding where you are that day. So someone should go to the store, buy a journal, have a piece of paper, maybe write it on their iPhone, and just say the 3 things that made them happy that day.
Grateful. Things that they're grateful for, yeah. But yeah, it retrains the way that you
How
think.
does it retrain? So I'm just writing these things, so I'm looking for those things, so now in life I'm not looking for the negative things, I'm looking for the positive?
Exactly. You're training yourself. It's kind of like the Where's Waldo books. You're training your eye to find a specific shape. You're training your mind to look for specific things that resonate with you as something that you would be grateful for. What
Could someone, after those 30 days, that was looking to get better at one of those steps could do to train themselves to make that happen on a daily basis?
That's a great question. There are a lot of resources, even out on the internet, on how to cultivate gratitude. There is a website on cultivating kindness. I think it's kindness.org. But there are, if you just Google TED Talk and look up TED Talk Happy or TED Talk Kindness, they will give you all kinds of creative ways to expand random acts of kindness. I mean, it can actually become a contagious thing. It's also reframing what you're doing. If you're not doing everything just for your own personal why, sometimes people feel selfish for having just their own individual why, but they become extremely bold if they're doing it for their family, or if they see somebody that's in need and they're going to build their business for somebody that's in need. And so developing passion for somebody outside of yourself sometimes is a way of growing in that skill.
Love it. Number 2 is done.
Yay!
Okay.
We have more Hampton Roads Business Weekly on the way, but first, the Millennial Minute.
Hi, I'm Renee.
And I'm Mike, and today we're going to be talking about video. Every month, 6 billion hours of video are uploaded to YouTube, while over 70% of millennials claim to use YouTube, and only 9% of small businesses are currently using YouTube. This creates a great opportunity to start using YouTube.
So it's a great way to showcase your employees and your products in a platform that's really popular with millennials. A great example of this is what Hampton Roads Business Weekly does on their Facebook and Instagram. They showcase selfies of their cast and behind-the-scenes footage of their segments.
All of this helps build brand loyalty through the transparency that you're able to show by showing people behind the scenes and the people who work at the business.
And this is your Millennial Minute.
Welcome back to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. I'm thrilled to introduce you to Angela Reddix, the founder and CEO of Ardix, a management consulting firm based in Norfolk, Virginia. Angela, you are our Entrepreneur of the Week. Congratulations.
Thank you. I am honored and excited.
You've got an amazing story. 125 employees, a multi-million-dollar consulting company that started 9 years ago. How did you get your start in business?
I have to tell you, Cheryl, this business was created by demand. It is really not necessarily your normal, everyday business story, because we didn't start with a vision of 125 employees, and we call our employees associates. I developed a niche in the medical profession, specifically working with policy and operational practices for health and human services. I have to tell you, it is because of the work and the commitment to the customers that I had that those opportunities grew and grew to the point where I had to hire others to support the work. That work without marketing continued and continued, and today we have 125 associates simply by doing good work.
You make it sound so easy, but I know
Absolutely
it was anything
not.
but. It's interesting that you say you started as a company of one. It was just going to be you, and that by doing good work and outreach and people wanting to work with you, you grew. How did you manage that growth, and what were some of the challenges on your way from you to adding 125 people to your group?
Our challenge has been attracting the associate that will understand that the way we've grown from one individual to 125 individuals is simply by saying yes, where others will say no. And so it is that difference of saying, I see opportunities instead of seeing challenges, and getting 125 others who can see those opportunities and simply believe and simply say yes. So that has been our challenge. I believe it was year 7, really year 8, that I would say we turned the corner in determining what our talent acquisition process needs to be. And so we've refined that, where we're trying to figure out ourselves, and therefore we were attracting the wrong kind of people, quite honestly, because we didn't know who we were.
You talk about culture. So what is your culture? What is it that you've pulled together by year 9 that has solidified what you believe in?
I would express this culture in 5 words, and these are our 5 core values. Innovation. That's one of our I's, is that if you have an idea and it makes sense for where we're going, let's see how we can integrate that into what we do. And that's the second core value, is integration. Integrating your dreams, your goals with where the company is going, and also where the client is going. What makes us special are the individuals. So the third core value is individuality. And so we don't want many me's. We want many individuals that can make us a successful organization. And then inspiration. We have to inspire each other every day. So often we focus on the what's and the how's that we forget about the why's. And the work that we do supporting health and human services it's important work. And so when we are inspired by what we do, then we can do it so much better. And finally, with integrity. So our fifth I is integrity. Integrity means holding the organization accountable. It means holding each other accountable. Accountability doesn't mean just saying, good job. Accountability also means giving true, compassionate feedback to say, here's what we need to do for course correction. So I would describe our 5 I's, really, that's our culture. And we live it. Any associate walking around the halls, they will tell you, they know the 5 I's. It's not just the core values on our website or in our conference rooms, but we believe in living that every day.
Angela Reddix, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Running your own business can be tough. Now imagine running 2. And oh yeah, you haven't even had your 25th birthday yet. Up next, my interview with Daniel Plowski, owner of Peninsula Landscaping. We talk about the challenges of maintaining a life outside of work. But first, learn how to get your business noticed by the media in the TAN plan.
More Hampton Roads Business Weekly to come. First, though, a new segment we're calling the TAN Plan. Today I'm talking about 3 mistakes you may be making when you're pitching stories to the media. Mistake number 1, you're sending out mass emails. Chances are pretty good that the event that you're pitching won't be of interest to every single media outlet in your zip code, so save yourself some time. Instead, send targeted emails to media outlets that would be interested in hearing more about what you're offering. Mistake number 2, you're getting important details wrong, like spelling the names incorrectly of the producers, reporters, or editors that you're sending to, or you're mixing up media outlets, and this happens more often than you would think. Mistake number 3, you're selling a product or a service and that's all you do in your media pitch. Instead, be clear and concise and share a story idea that media outlet would like to tell their audience. If you'd like more tips on how to connect with influencers like the media, you can go to CherylTanMedia.com. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's up? I'm Zach Miller for Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Join me next Thursday, January 21st, for the State of the Startup Community Address, where we take the temperature of the local startup scene here in Hampton Roads. Welcome back to Hampton Roads Business Weekly. We're here with Daniel Plowski of Peninsula Landscaping and Lawn Wizard. Daniel, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, sure thing. Thank you.
So you started your first business at a pretty young age. How old were you and what did you do?
I think I was 11 or 12. Basically started mowing lawns in my neighborhood. So I had a small landscaping business, which eventually grew into the 2 companies I had today.
And you've done that for, you're 24 now, you said?
Yes.
So you've been doing that for about 12 years or so. How have you grown that business into the business that you have today?
It really evolved over time. You know, it goes through different stages, different plateaus. You know, you bring on more people. You kind of upgrade your whole business. All your systems and processes, they change as your business grows. There's always, you know, you reach a certain level and then you make some big, you know, you usually make some big changes. Like you might bring a GM or you might bring in, you know, more managers, stuff like that. And then basically it happens over time. The business evolves basically.
What I think is really interesting is that you have basically a brick and mortar office, a brick and mortar business, a traditional landscape business, and you've taken that and you've decided to create a software side of it called Lawn Wizard.
Yes. Basically, Lawn Wizard is like Uber for lawn care. So everything is done online. The client books online. You actually price everything online as well. So if you go to our website, for example, Lawn Wizard, you type your address in. It gives you a price in 5 seconds for how much it costs to mow your lawn. And normally, somebody would have to drive out, measure the property.
So for someone who doesn't understand the Uber concept, it's basically a double-sided marketplace where you're trying to find the buyers and the sellers and bridge them together.
Correct.
So that they'll buy the service.
Yes.
And so how do you guys make money on that?
We take a percentage of the transaction. So, you know, let's say Miss Smith books a mowing and it's $45. Then, and let's say Mr. Jose does the mowing. We would charge 10% of the transaction, so he would get $40 or $38. We would keep $7. Some of that goes towards the transaction fees because we do all the processing online for the payments.
And so, so basically, you're creating something so that you can scale that. Is that only in Hampton Roads? Is it only in Virginia? Where do you see Lawn Wizard going, and how are you going to get it in different markets?
It's really scalable. Once you have the software fully established, which we actually have the website's all finished. Now we're working on the app itself. Once that's done, it really scales itself. So we're going to launch in multiple markets, and it's going to be in different states as well. Because at that point, it's an online business. There's no physical office, no equipment that we keep. It's basically linking people, homeowners, with reliable providers.
What are some of the best tips that you have for other business owners out there?
You know, a lot of people want to get into business, and you know, there's a lot of good things about it. I think oftentimes the work-life balance is not one of the good things about this. So unless you're very serious about it, and unless you're willing to put in the hours, I probably wouldn't recommend it. You can make a lot of money working for somebody else, especially if you're in sales or management. You can make a lot of money and you can have a good work-life balance. Unless you're really willing to work very hard every single day, it might not be a good idea. So that's the first thing, because a lot of people I talk to, they want to have a business, but they don't really understand what it takes to have one. Sure.
And so the work-life balance for you, how do you dictate what your life looks like?
At this point, having two companies, and both companies being in high growth mode, you know, Peninsula Landscaping, we're trying to take, right now this year we're going to close with $2 million. Next year the goal is 3.5. At the same time, Lawn Wizard is doubling every month. Having two companies like that, you know, the work-life balance, it just won't be there.
So really just work for you right now.
Yes.
And maybe you'll get the life a little bit later.
Eventually, maybe, yes.
Congratulations on the success with both of your businesses right
Thank
now,
you.
and for the ongoing future and your goals.
Sure thing. Thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Welcome back. Let's talk social media. Nowadays, it's an essential part of running a business. I met with the social media coordinator for iFly, the indoor skydiving park in Virginia Beach. We talked about how they were able to reach over 2,000 Facebook likes before they ever opened their doors. So often, companies have questions about how to start a social media and marketing campaign. That's why I'm so thrilled to talk with Renee Ainsley, the Public Relations and Marketing Manager at iFly Virginia Beach. Thanks for talking with us today.
Thanks for having me today.
So iFly Virginia Beach is a year old.
We are, January 12th.
Which means that a year ago, you didn't have much in terms of social media, a presence on Instagram or Twitter, or really even a robust website. So let's talk about how you started this process and how you grew your following. And some really interesting statistics is in 2015, you had 32,000 flyers. Congratulations.
32. Thank you.
So you grew that and also grew that number. So how did you start all this?
Well, in terms of social media, we actually had a slight presence about 5 or so years ago when Bob kind of first thought of this idea of having iFly in Virginia Beach. And to get some exposure, he started a Facebook page. And so when I took over about a year and a half ago, we had around 2,000 followers at that point. And now we're up to 7,500 today. So we are growing, and it's great. And we found that, you know, social media in general, specifically Facebook, is such a powerful outlet. You know, it allows us to engage with people. You know, it's not just outbound marketing. It's really engaging with our customers, finding out what they want, and it gives them an opportunity to kind of see iFly from the inside as well. You know, when we started it a couple years ago, Bob posted pictures of the entire building process, basically how iFly came about. There's pictures on there today still from, you know, when we had our groundbreaking, you know, a year or so ago, 2 years ago at this point. And so it really kind of allows people to see not just what we're all about in our promotions and not just the indoor skydiving aspect, but really the people who work here and kind of brought this place to life.
So Bob Pizzini, the CEO of iFly, he started this Facebook page and then sort of grew the idea starting on Facebook. And so that when the building opened in January of 2015, you already had a base of people interested in what was going on there.
Exactly.
How have you learned what grows engagement on your Facebook page? What is it that people respond to and ask you questions about or talk to you about on it?
We are so visual, so we found, and we have a great video guy here, I'll give him some props here, Brandon Keck. We hired him in April, and we didn't hire him for doing video, but he does an amazing job, and he's kind of just started to take that over. Because we're so visual, people, you know, have a hard time understanding what exactly indoor skydiving is, and so when you put those videos out there that show exactly what we do, that's one way to encourage engagement.
Any advice for other companies, other entrepreneurs who are watching this and trying to figure out how you build something from nothing?
Oh gosh, have a good team in place. It just kind of depends on what you're marketing. Really listen to your customers, listen to what they want. You know, I try to track, especially through social media, and we really try to track everything. But if, you know, if someone says, I want to see another video, or I want to see a video about this, we put it up there. You know, it's engaging and listening to your customers, honestly. But try a couple different things. You'll learn that maybe print works for you best, and we've learned that print does. We use Sunny Day, and they have been a great partner as well. They've done tremendous things for us in terms of advertising to tourists. But it just, you have to try a couple different things, see what works, but make sure you measure it. Bob's always telling me, I mean, he looks at my, my marketing dashboard every day, and I've probably got 20 sheets in that Excel workbook of just metrics that we keep up with on a daily basis and a monthly basis, and just to see what is working for us. So track everything, track it. And
so many things are. So congratulations,
yes.
Renee. Thanks so much for sharing these wonderful words of advice with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, Cheryl.
That wraps up another edition of Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Like us on Facebook and Instagram at HR Business Weekly.
There, you will find segments from previous shows, plus some great behind-the-scenes pictures and videos. For Hampton Roads Business Weekly, I'm Zach Miller.
And I'm Cheryl Tan. We'll see you next week.
Hampton Roads Business Weekly, sponsored by Regent University and produced by ABC 13.